Hey yo, what's up? My name is Poo Cluster, and we are finally on the third devlog for this game that I've been working on called Anima. If I upload this as planned, we should be averaging a little bit over a year per devlog. That's a bit of a joke. Well, not really. Right now, it's not a joke. That's the reality of it. But I recently just graduated college. Now that I've been moving on to my career and stuff, I have a job. I need to use it to fund the actual game development. I'll have a more routine work-life balance going on. So theoretically, I should be able to work on this game and create devlogs at a more routine / consistent pace. All right, with that aside, let's get started. So one of the first things that you're going to notice is this splash screen right here. It says Anima developed by Poo Cluster, powered by Fmod. So what exactly is Fmod? Well, it's a library that actually allows my game to have sound. If you didn't notice already, there's background music playing right now. It's a kalimba. That's me on the kalimba just playing some notes and stuff, playing some nice chords. The game supports sound, both sound effects and music. There's this music in the background, as well as some sound effects, like when I hover over any of the menu items, it'll create this piano sound. And the sound changes pitch relative to where you are on the menu. Even the scroll bar does it. We also have a scroll bar, so we can use that. Oh, I do not need to I do not need to download and install Git right now. But this scroll bar right here, we can use it to scroll for pages that have more content than can be displayed on the screen at any given time. Scroll bars can also be used to control items like sound and music. So we can use it right now to bring down the music. I'm going to bring down the music just because I don't want you guys to be distracted by the constant cutting of the music and jumping of the music. And I just want you guys to focus on the sound of my voice. You can also use the pluses and minuses, right? If you want to do like incremental changes, but I like the scrolling effect, it's really nice. So this is what is known as the main menu, and you know it's the main menu because you can both control the menu as well as move the player at the same time, right? That's only a feature in the main menu state. So let's go to controls, because I want to show you guys some things in the controls as well. When we go to player controls, if we hit this interact key, we can change it. It'll start blinking. Oh, I didn't click it. So we click it, it'll start blinking like that to let you know that we can select it. If we select something that's already occupied, like WASD or escape or tab, it's going to simply quit out of it and just remain as E. If I hit W, it'll just remain as E. Before I change it really quick, I want to show you guys this new UI update that I did. So when you approach interactable items, it'll show an E, or the interactable action, the interactable button right on top of the interactable object. Before, I used to display a text dialog right below that says press E to sit or press E to enter, but I figured it would just be way more intuitive to put the E right on top, so you don't really have to say anything else other than just E. And it just looks a lot cleaner. Say we wanted to change it to F. We changed it to F, it updates it here, and now it says F in game. Alright, what else do we have here? We have MIDI pianos, right? I mentioned that I wanted to hook up MIDI pianos to this game. If we go to our MIDI piano, right now we have no pianos. Oops, I forgot to connect my MIDI piano, so let me go ahead and do that real quick. And then I'm going to hit this refresh button. And now we see my piano right here, it's connected. It's called AKM320. It's the model name of my MIDI keyboard. And it'll auto-select it because that is the only one that's available right now. You can connect your MIDI piano in-game. Alright. What else do we have in the menu? Well, you'll see it says new game and saves. We now have the ability of loading and saving games. Right now, I haven't implemented the new game button. It's really easy to do, I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But if we go to saves, I have a specific one right here called mark that I can use for demonstration. The saves are saved to the specific name that the player chooses in game. My name is Mark, so I'll click Mark. And then we can choose whether or not to load or delete it. I'm not going to delete it because this is the only save file I have. I'll hit load. It'll do this nice sweeping animation transition. And now we are in our save state. Actually, let me go ahead and full screen this so you guys can see it a little bit better. Alright, so one of the things that's really nice is when you move around, there's this nice walking sound that's going on here. You can hear this nice pitter patter, not pitter patter, but like stepping on stone kind of sound. And then if I go on grass, it'll make a grass sound instead. I recorded these myself, I'm pretty proud of it, but yeah, they sound pretty cool. Other than that, you'll notice there's a lot of different assets now in this game. There's a bunch of different trees going on here. I actually programmed the trees. So they're all different variations, like this one has the berry over here, this one has the berry over here, and you can customize the trees to just make the world look a little bit more interesting. And you can also have different colored berries and different colored trees. These are sakura trees with white berries, and then these ones are, this is like an oak tree with apples or something like that, and this is a big tree, this is a small tree. I based this world that I created right now, this specific room, I based it off of my university. This is like a college building. Here's a bench. The bench has been there since day one. Pretty cool, right? And then if we go over here on the left side, you'll hear there are these, I'm not sure if you can hear it, but there's like these fountain sounds. They're like bubbly and stuff like that. They make these really nice bubbly sounds. I also made that sound effect. And there's a bunch of canopies here as well. Oh, there's a guy over here. He's an NPC. And so are these, technically. But this is a moving NPC, so we can go up to him. Oh. I think he's occupied right now. Hold up. Let's wait for him to go down a bit. Does he not want to go down? You gotta be patient with these NPCs sometimes. There he is. Oh. Wow, we waited all of that time for him to tell us. Leave me alone. Okay. Well, okay. Notice that the dialogue now has the specific thing that you're talking to. In this case, it's this guy, so you can see him right here. If we were to talk to this tombstone, this is a tombstone. They're all tombstones. If you talk to the tombstone, you'll see a tombstone here. And if we talk to this person, which is literally the player, you can see the player right here as well. If we continue to interact with the player, it says blah, 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 blah. We can continue to talk to him, and then he'll ask you, what do you think? And give you options. You can say yes or nah. If I say yes, he'll say la. Let's try talking to him again. If I say nah, he'll say yeah. I created dialogue trees, so you can interact with the player. And they can say whatever you want them to say. And the trees can be endless, so you can have a really intense, deep dialogue if you wanted to. You know, make the world feel a little bit bigger, a little bit more depth to it. Another thing I added is that this NPC, the moving ones at least, can actually move anywhere on the map and they'll pathfind their way. There's this thing called the A-star pathfinding algorithm, which allows them to find the shortest point from where they currently are to where they want to go. Right now he looks like he's taking his time, so we'll just leave him be, but trust me on that. If we go up, you can see there's like some music note shaped clouds going in front and behind the mountain. This nice mountain, I based this off of my college as well. In terms of other assets that I've been working on, not all of them are in the game yet, but I've been working on more assets than what you currently see. I've worked on stuff like cars, suburban houses, tennis courts, and a bunch of different characters as well. I've been ideating a bunch of different characters, character designs, and stuff like that. And hopefully you get to see all of them in the game someday. Alright, other than that, the main part of this game is the music, so let's talk about the music. Before, I actually had to manually switch programs to show y'all the different states of the game. Right, so there's this state of the game where we can like walk around and stuff, and then there's another state where we have the music. Now, I've actually integrated a game state manager so it can go through all the different states. Like, we've already gone through a couple, like the splash screen, the main menu. Now we're here in this world state, and then if we pull up this menu, we can go to the sheet music, and then we can go to Mary Had a Little Lamb, and that will pull up the music state. Here's the music now. It's improved a decent bit. This top left one right here is going to be the counter to count you off. It's going to count an entire measure. I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4 to give the player a sense of rhythm before they actually start playing the music, and then it'll go ahead and continue through the music itself. So I can press any key to start except for escape. Escape is the menu key. So we can't hit the menu key, but any other key we can start. One thing I also want to say before we start is that the music state actually runs the game as fast as possible, so the updates go as fast as possible. In other states, the game only updates 60 times per second. It's pretty important for the music state to update as fast as possible to ensure that the player's inputs are read as accurately as possible, limited only by the computer's limitations. If notes are occurring faster than 60 times a second, how can 60 updates a second even process that information? It can't. So that's why we gotta update as fast as possible. Before we even start, I'm gonna pull up the menu. Alright. There's gonna be two different types of menu. There's the practice music menu, and then there's gonna be the performance menu. The difference is that the practice menu allows you to change the tempo of the music as well as turn on the metronome. And if you're really struggling, you can even put on autoplay to see what it sounds like before you even play it. When you're in the performance mode, that's like the mode where you'll be assessed to see if you've practiced enough to make sure you can go on to the next stage of the game. That won't have the tempo, metronome, or autoplay features. You'll just have to play it without that. There'll still be the metronome count off though. You'll hear the metronome count off just to feel the groove of the music. Let's first play a little bit, and then you can see kind of how it goes. I'm gonna count off. I'm gonna purposefully miss a note here. Oh, that was bad. Here, let me restart real quick. Okay, so notice a couple of things here. The current note that you need to play will always be highlighted in blue, as well as the current measure will be highlighted in blue. Basically anything relative to what is now in the music is going to be highlighted in blue. And previous notes that you've played will be in shades from green to red. Green means that you played it well, and then red means you've played it poorly, right? So it's on a spectrum. And it's based on two things. One is how long you've held the note for. If you held it for almost the amount of time that the note should be played for, then you'll be rewarded the full score. If you didn't hold it long enough, that's going to hurt your score. And that will hurt the streak down here actually as well. If you miss the note completely on initiation, so like when the note initially happens, that will also hurt your streak. So those are the two things you want to try to go for. You want to try to land the note when it happens, as well as hold the note for as long as it's supposed to be held for. And those two things will help keep your streak up. And the streak is like a multiplier. Basically, the higher the streak, the more your score will grow exponentially. You also have beat right here, which tells you what beat we're on. We're on beat 2 and measure 3, right? 1, 2, 3. This is measure 3 on beat 2. If we continue to play, we'll finish and it'll show us the score that we got, which was 2,873. So you can see that this was not our high score. I've gotten a higher score than that, but I was trying to purposefully show you some of the mistakes and like flexibilities of the music playing system. I want to show you a different one, actually. This one's called Ties and Slurs, and this one is me working on implementing ties and slurs into the music. The ties and the slurs, they're only in the game right now aesthetically, but I'll eventually implement it into the music logic so they actually do something. Ties and slurs are supposed to be used to connect the piece more, make it a little bit more fluid, make it a little bit more legato, or if you wanted to extend the duration of a note, but only by a specific amount. Like let's say it's a quarter note tied to an eighth note, so it'll be played for 1.5 beats instead of just 1 beat. If you want specific durations, that's what it's used for. And this time, I'm actually going to use the autoplay mode just to show you what the autoplay mode does. Well, you can probably assume, but I want to show you that it works, as well as show you that when you turn on the autoplay mode, it's obviously going to play it perfectly. And because it's going to play it perfectly, it's not going to affect your high score. So let's just go ahead and listen to this. Also, these are random notes that I picked just to test, because I wanted to test ties and slurs going over like that, and also going under like this, over like that, under like that. And you'll notice also here that when the ties and slurs cross measures, it'll be blue for the entire time. Also, the tempo changed on measure 2. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but the tempo changed, so that's why it's a lot slower right now. And you can see that our streak is basically perfect, and we're getting a really good score here. We should basically get a perfect score of 10,140. But because we were on autoplay mode, remember we were on autoplay mode, it didn't affect our high score, which in this case was 0. Yep. Other things related to music are the free play mode. So if we hit the free play mode, we can pull up a piano in the room itself. It does like a really nice little animation, comes from behind you and then it goes in front of you. And then now we can play in the world itself. I was just using my keyboard there, like my computer keyboard, a PC keyboard, the not piano keyboard. Keyboard and keyboard kind of get mixed up a lot of the times in my head nowadays. I haven't actually animated it yet, but yeah, I was just wanted to show you guys that. Put that away, and it'll make a nice little putting away animation. Another thing I wanted to show you was this. Right now is this keyboard, which is the piano. I should really figure out a better naming convention system here. But keyboard is the current instrument that we have selected, but we can also select the kalimba, because that'll be in our inventory as well. In the game, you'll be able to acquire a bunch of different instruments as you continue through your journey. Let's select the kalimba. Now it says kalimba right here, and now you can hear kalimba sounds. Oh, not that one. Some of them don't have it because my kalimba only has the white notes on a keyboard. It doesn't have the black notes. So some of these don't have sounds yet. I'll figure out a way around that. But let's go to Mary Had a Little Lamb. We can play Mary Had a Little Lamb with a kalimba now. I just realized we have autoplay on. So I was like, wow, I'm getting a really good score here. Yeah. Now you can tell it's me playing because it doesn't sound as good. Yep, and that's how that works. Oh, by the way, the metronome sound, that's also me. Basically, any sound you hear in this game, it's basically just me. Like the metronome, I was just going. I was just using my tongue for that one. So, yeah, that's basically all there is to show in the game so far. Hopefully, that's pretty cool stuff. Hopefully, you appreciate it. I'm having a lot of fun doing it. Oh, one last thing I wanted to show you guys is this. If you didn't see my last video, basically I said that I made a Twitter account. Here I'll be posting stuff. The last time I posted was in 2020, but I'll be posting stuff related to the game. If you guys are a little bit impatient or you're like, where's the next YouTube video or whatever, you can at least check my Twitter account and see if I post anything there, if I tweet anything there, just like small little updates and stuff like that, so you at least know that there's progress being made on this game. And with that, yeah, there's pretty much nothing else I have to show you for now. Yeah, hopefully you guys appreciated that. I had a lot of fun, and hopefully you stay tuned for the upcoming videos. Yep, peace out, cheers.